Black Ridge Ranch lay on the edge of the desolate hills of Wyoming, where the wind howled even on moonless nights and the sky seemed too vast for human prayers. During the day, the ranch appeared peaceful, with hundreds of sheep grazing under the watchful eye of 3 shepherd dogs, Gray, Lady, and Brutus, pigs grunting in their pen, and old barns creaking as if they were simply conversing with the wind. But at night, the ranch transformed. The master was Gerald Hewood, a tall man with grey temples and the look of a man who had seen more than he liked to remember. His wife, Sarah, was the heart of the family, quiet, gentle, but surprisingly strong. Their children were grown up, but still lived nearby. The eldest, Nicholas, was quiet and sensible. The middle son, James, was hot and determined, and the youngest, Nicole, was still called little sister by her brothers, despite her 22 years. They were a happy family. Or almost. It started at the end of September, when the nights were cold and the air was too quiet. One morning, James found a dead sheep near a distant pen. Its throat was torn open, but strangely, not like a coyote or wolf. There were no signs of a struggle, no tufts of fur around. It was as if the body had been carefully placed on the ground. Maybe a cougar? Nicholas suggested. A cougar doesn't move silently and doesn't leave clean cuts, Gerald replied. Sarah didn't say anything, but she couldn't sleep for a long time that night. 2 days later, they found a second sheep. Then a third. The dogs started acting strangely. Gray refused to approach the distant hills, Lady whined at night, and Brutus, the most aggressive, sat by the door of the house and growled into the darkness, as if he could see something alive there. One night, Nicole woke up to the sound of footsteps. Not outside, but inside the house. Slow ones. Heavy ones. It was like someone was walking barefoot on a wooden floor. Dad? What is it? She whispered. There was no response. The footsteps stopped at her door. The handle slowly lowered. But the door didn't open. When Nicole jumped up abruptly and opened it, the hallway was empty. The house was asleep. In the morning, she told her family about it. James chuckled. It was a nightmare. But Nicholas remarked. The dogs were howling at night, too. Gerald remained silent. A few days later, 3 pigs disappeared. They just vanished. There was no blood, no signs of a struggle, and no broken fence. It was as if someone had erased them from the world. James insisted. We should check the old barn by the hills. It hasn't been used in a long time. The barn had been abandoned since Gerald's grandfather tried to raise horses there. The wood had turned black with age, and the door hung on a single hinge. When Nicholas and James entered the barn, the air hit them like a punch to the lungs, heavy, wet, and rotten. And then, Brute, who had accompanied them, growled sharply. Something was moving in the corner of the barn. Not a man. Not an animal. Too tall. Too thin. A figure, as if made of shadows, rose slowly, and the air seemed to shiver around it. Run, Nicholas whispered. They ran outside. Brutus followed, his tail between his legs. But when they turned back, the barn was empty. From that night on, it became impossible to sleep on the ranch. Everyone heard something different. Sarah heard her mother's voice, who had passed away 20 years ago, calling out to her from the darkness behind the house. James heard children laughing in the cornfield. Nicholas saw a figure in the reflection of the window behind him, but when he turned around, there was no one there. And Nicole. One night, Nicole heard someone whispering her name right next to her ear. Nicole. She jumped up and screamed. When the family ran into the room, her face was white as a sheet. It was standing by my bed. She whispered. Without eyes. Without a mouth. But I knew it was looking at me. Sarah began to cry. Gerald clenched his fists. This is no longer an accident. The next day, Gerald went to the nearest town, to the old library where the county records were kept. He returned in the evening, looking pale. This place, he told his family, didn't used to belong to my family. The McCranes used to live here. In 1931, the whole family disappeared. Father, mother, and 3 children. No bodies, no trace. Only the livestock remained, mutilated as if turned inside out. Nicole whispered. Like now. The records mention strange lights in the hills. And people hearing the voices of dead relatives calling them at night. What happened to them? Asked Sarah. No one knows. No one slept that night. At midnight, the electricity went out. The house was plunged into complete darkness. At the same moment, the dogs started barking, not aggressively, but in fear. Then Nicole screamed. It's in my room. Everyone rushed upstairs. The door to her bedroom was closed. There was scratching coming from inside. James slammed his shoulder against the door. It flew open. And they saw a shadow standing by the window. It was almost human-shaped, but too elongated. Its head was tilted unnaturally, and dark veins seemed to extend from its chest, like roots or tentacles. Nicole was pressed against the wall, unable to scream. Sarah rushed towards her. Then the creature turned. It had no face, only an empty void from which came a voice. Gerald's voice. Nicole. Come to me. Gerald shouted. Don't listen. The creature lunged forward. At the same moment, all 3 dogs burst into the room. Grey was the first to jump at the shadow. Lady grabbed it from behind. Brute hit the creature in the chest with such force that it was thrown against the wall. The room was filled with an inhuman screeching sound, as if thousands of voices were screaming at the same time. The creature began to disintegrate. Like smoke. Like darkness dying in the light. But it did not disappear. It ran away through the wall, leaving a cold that froze her fingers. Nicole lost consciousness. At dawn, the family gathered at the kitchen table. It's not going away, Nicholas said. It's hunting. And Nicole is his target. Why her? Sarah asked. Gerald said slowly. Because she is the youngest. Just like the McCrane children. Sarah covered her face with her hands. What are we going to do? James stood up. We'll go where it comes from. To the hills, Nicholas said. To the old barn. The dogs sat nearby, tense, as if they understood every word. Nicole insisted on going with them. It already tried to take me. I won't wait for the next time. Gerald looked at his daughter for a long time. And then nodded. Under the old barn, they found a trapdoor hidden under rotten planks. An icy draft blew from it. Below was a staircase descending into darkness. There used to be a well here, Gerald remembered. It was filled in. Or so they thought. They descended. Flashlights illuminated walls covered with strange symbols, not letters, not drawings, but something in between. In the center of the underground chamber lay bones. Many bones. Human. Sarah gasped. Is that them craze? And more, Nicholas whispered. Look how many there are. And then a voice spoke. You've come too late. It rose from the darkness. It looked different now. Huge. Almost touching the ceiling. Its body seemed to be made of shadows, bones, and something alive, bouncing, pulsing. Who are you? James shouted. The creature answered in several voices at once. I am hunger. I am memory. I am what remains when fear eats the soul. It turned to Nicole. You hear me, child? You look like them. The ones who stayed here. Forever. Nicole was trembling, but she took a step forward. I don't belong to you. The creature laughed, a sound like breaking bones. Everyone belongs. Gerald suddenly remembered. My grandfather, he whispered. He told a legend. About a creature that feeds on fear and loneliness. It doesn't kill immediately. It draws a person out. Makes them empty. That's why there are no bodies, Nicholas said. It uses them to exist, James added. Sarah suddenly said. It's afraid of something. The creature twitched sharply. Shut up. You're afraid of love, she said. Family. Warmth. You feed on fear because you can't bear the other. The room shook. Enough. The creature lunged at Nicole. The dogs rushed to intercept. Gray was thrown into the wall. The lady screamed, but continued to bite the darkness. Brutus clung to the creature's neck and hung on. Brutus. Nicole screamed. The creature lifted him into the air. At that moment, Nicole screamed not out of fear, but out of rage. Let them go. Something flared up inside her. Not light. Not fire. But warmth. And suddenly, the space exploded with a white glow. Nicole fell to her knees. A soft, golden light seemed to emanate from her chest, like a dawn in a fog. The creature howled. No, no. Not this. You have no power here, she said, not knowing where the words came from. This is our home. The light grew brighter. The shadows on the creature's body began to recede. It screamed with the voices of hundreds of people. I don't want to disappear. Then don't live at the expense of others, Nicholas said. The creature lunged back toward the bones, the walls, the darkness, but the light held it. And in the last moment, it whispered with the voice of a small child. I was so cold. And then it disappeared. The dungeon was empty. The bones crumbled to dust. The symbols on the walls went out. The cold was gone. The dogs lay nearby, breathing heavily but alive. Nicole sat on the floor, shivering. Sarah rushed over to her. Are you okay? Are you hurt? No. She whispered. I'm just tired. James laughed, hysterically but with relief. We're alive. We're really alive. Gerald got down on his knees. Thank you, my daughter. Nicole looked up. I don't know what it was, but I felt like everyone who died here before was with me. After a few days, the ranch was quiet. Too quiet, in a good way. The dogs were sleeping peacefully again. The animals weren't disappearing anymore. No one heard any voices at night. Nicole didn't wake up in terror anymore. The barn was demolished. The was filled with concrete. And in its place, Gerald planted a tree. Let something live here, he said. One night, Nicole had a dream. She was standing in a field. In front of her were people. A man, a woman, and 3 children. Thank you, the man said. We are no longer connected to this place. We are free, the woman added. The children were smiling. And then they all disappeared into the morning light. Nicole woke up crying, but not out of fear. A month later, James said, You've changed. What do you mean? Nicole asked. You've become stronger. Not with my body. Inside. She smiled. I think I just realized that fear is not always the enemy. Sometimes it's just a door. And it's important that you choose after her. Nicholas added. The main thing is that we're together. Sarah hugged them all at once. We always will be. One night, Brutus suddenly growled at the window. Everyone was alert. But there was only the wind outside the glass. And a small stone lying on the windowsill. Nicole picked it up. It was worn. It must have gotten worn during the day, she said. But when she placed it on the table, a faint symbol appeared on its surface for a moment, similar to the ones she had seen in the dungeon. It disappeared just as quickly. Nicole sighed. I don't think it's a threat. It's a goodbye. A year passed. The ranch was thriving. The sheep were breeding, the pigs were growing, and the dogs had become a legend in the area. Nicole had gone to college, but she often returned home. Every time she got out of the car, she looked at the hills, not with fear but with respect. We won here, she once told James. We didn't win, he replied. We just didn't let the darkness win. In the evening, the whole family was sitting on the veranda. The sun was setting behind the hills, turning the sky golden. Sarah was holding Gerald's hand. Nicholas was repairing a fence nearby. James was laughing at some silly joke. Nicole was lying on the steps, Brutus dozing next to her. It's strange, she said, looking up at the sky. After all this, I don't feel afraid. Why? Sarah asked. Because now I know that even in the deepest darkness, there's something stronger. What? Gerald smiled. Nicole looked at her family. Us? The wind rustled the grass. The dogs yawned. And Black Ridge Ranch finally became just a home. Not a place of fear, but a place of life.